actually going to be sharing with you my experiences over the last 3 years and how I have found that empowering people to want to be more, they want to do more, which is going to affect your growth. And most importantly, they want to build a business with you, which will impact your retention. Sorry guys, I've got notes. It's my first time, so please bear with me. From my experience, you can be the best contact marketer. You can do 10 one-to-ones a day. You can create the most fanciest slides and recruit 5 to 10 people a month. But how you make people feel whilst you're working with them will have a huge impact on your growth, and it's just as important as the activity that you need to do. But don't get me wrong, there will always be people that do leave you because people's circumstances change, and what we do sometimes isn't for everybody. And we have to accept that as network marketers, that it just goes hand in hand with building a business. And also, some people won't ever be super successful because they won't commit to the activity that's needed of why they wanted to get started. So I'm going to be sharing with you some simple habits that I've been doing for the last 3 years that I hope you can go away and implement into your businesses too. But first of all, who am I? Because most of you, or some of you, might not have heard my story before, you might not have heard me speak. So how did I get started? I suppose, like most of us here today, I was looking for change. Most of us want the lifestyle that forever can bring, which is more money in the bank and more time with your families. And I got started as I needed both. I come from a nursing background, doing a role I completely loved, and to be honest, one I never saw myself leaving. But in January 2013, when I was just 7 months pregnant with Sophia, who you can see on the screen, my sister suddenly passed away, Zoe. Sorry. And in good old Zoe fashion, because she was always the drama queen of our family, it was dramatic, traumatic, and it completely rocked our world. Trying to deal with the challenges of being a new mum, handle the roller coaster, which is grief, and deal with the loss of my bestest friend, affected us more than we ever could have imagined. There was a grey cloud following me everywhere. Our lives had been thrown a huge curveball, and something just had to change. I couldn't continue on the path that I was on, and I knew that it all started with me. It was time to adapt to a new way of living. So with a clear vision of what I wanted my future to look like, a desire to want to make a change, $1 million work ethic, a motivation in the bucket load, I was ready, focused, and determined that our future would not be spent missing out on my daughter grow up. I wanted to create a life of choices and freedom and help my parents and support my family. So I got started with Natalie Healy in July 2013 when Sophia was just 3 months old, because I could see that forever was a solution to many of our problems. And the rest, they say, is history. But you know, I'm so proud of our team and what we've achieved so far. Together, we've moved to supervisor to manager to soaring in just 2 years. But this didn't just happen, and it certainly wasn't luck. It was pure grafting, fueled by so much excitement for what we had our hands on, that growing a business was fun. And by working with lots and lots of excited, determined, focused ladies and of course gents, we started to tick off all of our goals together. Strong friendships were formed and lots of people were achieving. So we focused on the company incentives to drive our businesses forward. We had to work really hard and of course smart. And ticking off the incentives took grit, sweat, and lots of tears. It meant loads of activity, huge self-development, lots of learning, and of course coaching our teams the first steps to manager. By doing this, by the end of 2015, my first full 2 years in business, we'd more than doubled our volume, which meant we had loads of team promotions, our group was infused with even more excitement, our team pages were running themselves, and every month we saw people on this stage achieving their goals. We had a real sense of team spirit, everybody was having fun, and our group was in momentum. We were working together for success. So, what have I done? What do? I took my focus away from myself and I put it all on the people that I work with. Instead of thinking, how can they help me? I always think, how can I help them? It's important you nurture your team to achieve their goals at their pace. And the best analogy that I could come up with for this, and it was given to me by my new husband, Andrew, a couple of days ago. And he said to me, the way he views my business is after the recent Olympics, you will have seen Mo Farah and Usain Bolt both pick up Olympic gold medals. Both achieved success. They both got to where they wanted. But they ran the track that excited them the most. The track that they could run on and that they wanted to. One enjoys fast pace, being on the track for seconds. The other takes a longer journey, but both achieved exactly the same. Always keep this in mind when you're working with people. This is their journey, not yours. And pushing people to go at a pace that they just don't feel comfortable with, that doesn't excite them, you'll run the risk of losing them. You want people to work with you because they want to, not because they have to. Never forget, we are paid to be really good communicators, and we are always looking to improve the way we look after our customers and the way we talk to our prospects. So always do this for your team. Sometimes it's a smallish change which will have the biggest impact. For example, I use the words we, us, and together. I never say I, me, mine, my. Never forget your team are volunteers. You're not their boss. Most people get started with Forever because they want to sack the boss. They want to work with you, not for you. Now just take a moment to think about the last time you made a decision about anything, whether in business or your personal life. Most of the time, you'll make that choice based on how you feel. Emotions drive decisions. So think about this when you're meeting your team next. How do they feel after a planning meeting with you, after a product launch that you've done, or maybe a one-to-one? Do they feel smaller, deflated, upset? Or do they feel inspired, standing that little bit taller, with the belief that they can go away and do this themselves? Something I get asked all of the time is, how do you motivate your team? And my answer never changes. You simply can't. Motivation truly has to come from within, and the goals and the reason why will drive your business forward. However, what we can do is inspire people and encourage people. Everybody needs to hear from time to time that they can do this and that they are worth it. Giving people the belief that they can is everything. But don't just tell them. You need to show them that you believe in them. Developing the person so the person can go away and develop a business will not only grow their belief, but as you're helping them jump out of their comfort zone, it will lead them one step closer to achieving their goals, which means volume growth. Plus, they'll start to really enjoy it. They'll start to develop that vision for the future, so they'll want to stay with you too. I also make sure that I get team involved. I want them to feel special and that we're doing this together. And there's a great saying that if you see a spark in somebody, you need to pour petrol on them and set them on fire. And as soon as I can see that spark in a team member, it's really time to get to work. Loads of activity and striving for self-development. Getting your team involved is the start on their journey with you. I've always invited team at any level, sometimes even from their first month with me, to get involved in our training webinars. You'll very rarely see me doing trainings going solo, just me. I always make sure it's all of our team and they're always included. Invite your team, put them forward for your local business presentations. Make them feel special. Never forget the first time you got asked to present on your training or your local BP. How did it make you feel? I also pop people in group messages. So I'll pop them in a group message with a team member that maybe I feel they can relate to. So straight away from day one, they're making friends and they feel part of the group. I also actively promote buddying up. Working solo can be lonely and it can be a little bit boring. And it's really nice to have a buddy to bounce ideas off, share ideas, and really support each other when you're having those tough days. Everybody has something to bring to the table. Everybody has a strength. So by working together, you'll achieve way more success. I set up a team page not long after I achieved manager in April 2014 because I wanted to build that momentum, create a team spirit, a sense of community. And I encourage all team, all of the time, to come from a place of contribution. They might even get sick of me asking, actually. It's a place where everyone can feel part of the group, no matter where they live. Keeping your team pages alive and kicking takes time and effort, but keep going. And in time, the page won't even need you. It will completely just run itself. We also host team sizzles. And I've done this every month, since my first promotion to supervisor in August 2013. We have them once a month at my house for those that can come in person, and those that can't attend, I send out an online link so everybody feels part of the group. It's really informal, just jeans and a t-shirt and a cup of tea, really relaxed atmosphere, and it creates a safe environment for the team to ask questions. We cover various topics, going over the first steps to manager, from maybe how to do a clean 9, retail clean 9 and look after your customers, onto how to do a one-to-one and maybe some mindset tips. Every quarter we have a big group team sizzle, and we've been doing these for the last 2 years at head office or a conference or hotel room. And this is where all of my leaders get together, all of the managers come together, and we make sure we're working. But we put our teams forward to present the slots. So we're making sure we're developing the team and the people we're working with, so they feel part of it. After all, the teacher always learns more than the student. And at the beginning of this year, to support my manager group, now it's getting bigger, I wanted to ensure I'm giving those a support too. So we set up manager sizzles, and that every quarter where we get together for a lunch, a breakfast or a dinner, and we just share ideas. We're working side by side. So again, we're working together for success. Now, it might sound like it's all work, 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 but I promise you, we do have loads of laughs together. And the one thing I've wanted to do since the day I started is create friendships, loyalty, values, a place where people wanted to be part of it. So I started to create this culture, and every 3 months we have nights out. Started over 2 years ago, a couple of us in a local pub, And over those years, it's grown. So now we have big nights out on the town, spa days, days out with the kids, and even parties at the house. The people you work with will become like your second family. And as we all know, building a business, it's not easy because it's not supposed to be. So making sure you have fun together. It makes it a smoother ride when the storms come. As the great saying goes, don't wait for the storm to pass, learn to dance in the rain, and we certainly do dance. Every single person in this room is here today because you want to lead a group of successful people. But it doesn't work by just thinking like that. To build a team of successful people, it starts with you. You first have to be successful. And I knew that I must be the type of person I'm trying to develop. I took all the steps first so I can show my team. And that's the only reason I'm here today, so they can do it next. Leading your team to success by achieving PIN positions, income levels, incentives, it means you'll inspire them to want to follow you. Whether that's a few £100 to a few thousand. Make you work first, and your team will happily want to duplicate. You are the best investment in your business, and if you work on you, then the magic of forever will truly happen. Be the type of leader that you want to follow, value the people you get to work with, and empower people to want to be more and do more, and watch your business boom. Thank you.